Well, welcome to the people from the people. Welcome the people from YouTube. Us here at Rumble have already started a couple minutes ago. As a brief recap, this week it's a creepy, lonely old man sitting alone in a room and talking to himself. There is no chief colorist. Her operation went well, went successful on Monday, and we hope to have her back sometime in the near future. Probably not for next week's show either, but who knows? And I'm showing you this. This has already been posted. It's probably should be in the archives. But I just wanted to show the TikTok girl, the cartoonist proportions she had with the hip top thrusted out. I just had to use it for the comic strip. She was a very funny looking body shape that you generally don't see here on Fido the comic strip. I generally draw a Boston style woman, and I'll explain what a Boston style woman is later on when we get talking about Cracker Barrel and Disney. So I don't know who her name is. If anyone knows who she is, leave it in the comments and give her a give her a thumbs up. Send her some money. She looks like she can use a meal. So I'm not gonna bother reading these. These are the uh, old week stuff. All right, Monday. This is tomorrow's. The chief colorist was nice enough to finish a few of them before she left us. We have Bo and our hero Fido. And Bo says, "No. What do you mean no? I mean you can't go to the dog groomer again. Sure, I can. All I need is money. I'm not giving it to you. It's your fault I don't get the ladies." That's kind of cute how Fido is crossing his legs, ankle over, well, yeah, ankle over knee. That's sort of how a man crosses his legs, not knee over knee. That's how a woman crosses their legs, or Bob Iger. Here is Tuesday. Let's get the atmosphere better. Dino is Dino and Fido. Later, Felicia. I quit drinking and I'm gaining weight. I'm losing my hair. I sleep on the floor because the dog won't allow me on his couch next to a dirty cat litter box. You're complaining? No, nothing really has changed in your life. Yeah, but I used to be too drunk to notice. Wednesday, Fido, Dino again, and Felicia. They're sitting at a bus stop. I think that woman lost her purse. Fido looks, it's full of money. Let's keep it. Give it back to her. She'll be charmed by your honesty and fall in love with you. How do you think he'll do? Not good. I took the money. See, that's more of a Boston style woman that I draw. We still have the wider hips, but round, like mid-era Star Trek breasts. Back in the '60s, they were pointy breasts, and they turned round in the mid-era, and then really got silly in the disappeared in the modern era Star Trek. And hopefully, we'll get to talk about Star Trek later on today. There might be hope. There might not be. So here's the Thursday. Fido observing Bo shaving. Takes the razor, shaves himself. I didn't know where to stop, as he is completely shorn. And Chief Colorist actually did a pretty good job on that one. See, when she's not here, I can compliment her. Here is the Friday. Cat Boss, Dino, and our hero Fido. Okay, who ordered the hamburger? Cat Boss, you're handling food. He's got his paw on the hamburger to keep it on the plate so it doesn't fall. Did you at least wash your hands? Oh, of course. And he licks his hands clean. I assume that's clean cat saliva? It might have been before I cleaned my butt. Now, if I were, if the chief colorist was here, I'd ask her why she didn't color the French fries. Yeah, see, she missed that. But this has already been recorded. It's coming out next Friday. Only you people at home will realize the mistakes that were made. Here is the Saturday. We have Closet Cat up there, Felicia, Bogash, and our hero Fido. Everybody stop what you're doing. I have something important to show you all. This is my butt. They must be going to get their cameras. Now, see if anyone has a cat. They know a cat is very proud of its butt and constantly wants to show you it. Completely in character. The start of a new week here. This is also the start of a new month. This is September, excuse me. So, and Fido, they gave me a lesson plan to follow for when I go back to teach elementary school. I don't even know half of this stuff. Didn't you go to school as a kid? Sure. And as a kid, I'm not going to need to know all this stuff. Interesting character things. There's Bogash. Way back there is Jane. And this is the character model I've used for the principal. Obviously, a thinner man in his youth. But I recycled all the characters. As if Jane. It's actually never been canon that Jane went to school with them, but I guess it is now. Completely new character here. I think his name is Mike. Mike. But you don't learn that in this episode. I do like the Sydney Sweeney poster that he has on the wall over his bed. I know that poster doesn't exist, but it should, Sydney. It should. Get up. It's the first day of school. Mom, I'm not going to learn anything this year. Get up now and go to school. Dino and Fido. I'm back. Yep, I called it. So this is the old style for the original classroom that Dino taught in. As I explained last week, I went through the internet and found Welcome Back Kotter. And I'm trying to use Mr. Cotter's classroom. I get everything here but the podium, the lectern that Gabe Kaplan did most of his bits from. But this is the Welcome Back Kotter classroom. That's the bookshelf. That's the flag. That's where the blackboard was. And Chief Colors did a nice little transparency for the door window here. You can see the blackboard behind the door window. I'll give her credit for that. So we have Dino and this Fido going through it's supposed to be the lesson plan from Monday. Let's see, yeah. Lesson plan on Monday was blue, but now this is red. Blue lesson plan is nowhere to be found. Okay, continuity errors there. A little kid sitting on the floor. I'm your teacher for this semester. You may call me Dino. We are going to embark together on a magical tour of discovery where I am sure I shall learn from you much more than you will learn from me. This doesn't sound promising. Does anybody know what this word means? I figure the story behind this is that they can't trust Fido to leave him home, so he's got to go to school with Dino. Oh, and I think this was supposed to be a pencil or a marker, and the Chief Colorist did not color it at all. So, okay, it's a white pencil, whatever. Or maybe it's a big thing of chalk. Yeah, okay, it's chalk. Well, that's the end of the coloring. And if you saw last week's show, you might remember this one because this is the one that we inked live on the air. And since then, I've gotten some new toys. Now, everyone will remember my old brush. I constantly complained of its price because the hairs are made from Himalayan tree squirrels, and you have to send the Sherpas up the mountain to get the hair from the squirrels, and the squirrels, of course, do not wish to have Brazilians be denuded, and of course, it's a very complex process to make this brush. But I just got these from Blick, so let's get one open. If possible. No, I can't get this open. Where's a knife when you need one? That worked. So, look at how pretty that is. Now, this brush costs 4 to 5 times the amount that this brush costs. And I can only surmise that the hair you see there, black alien squirrels. You see, we don't have very many of them because only the one flying saucer crashed. And they were able to harvest these pubic hairs from the alien black squirrel. See, everyone thinks that the aliens are grays, but no. See, this is proof that extraterrestrial life exists, and we turn them into brushes of superior quality. I assume, I hope. It would be really nice if we got the chance to use this today, but I'm not sure I'm in any condition to ink. Let's carefully put that safety thing back on there. And it's amazing how, look at how beautifully, perfectly chiseled that point is. This brush might be a lot of, ooh, it's got spring. This brush might be a lot of fun. Here, we'll do a little side by side here. Look at that point compared to, well, that raggedy point. Ooh, that's a beautiful brush. Yeah. Smell it. Yeah, take a smell. It smells like alien tree squirrel. Wow. You almost wish they'd invade so that we could get more squirrel hairs for our brushes. But who knows? The universe is a strange and fickle place. Maybe we'll be able to enslave the alien tree squirrel and harvest new pubic hairs for our brushes. A man can dream, can't he? Yeah, I'm not going to waste our time by just erasing this, but point out a little technique here. See, your eraser gets really dirty. So what do you do with the eraser? You use an eraser on the eraser. Clean it off. And that way you won't smudge or smear your comic strip the next time around. Hey, look, it's dirty again. But no. Let's not make a mess on the table today. That would be Thursday. And here is Friday, the 5th of September. If we were going to do some inking, this would be the one we could ink. Yeah, I think I really would enjoy inking the new alien tree squirrel pubic hair brushes. I'd like to thank the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence for finding the proper use for the alien tree squirrel. Oh, I should read this to you, huh? Bogash, Fido. What happened to you? I was cafeteria monitor today. They had a food fight. Friday is pizza day. Little saucy bricks of hot, cheesy goo flying through the air. It was horrible. It was yummy. Here is the Saturday. This is probably a recurring theme amongst them. Why is it always no with you? Because you keep coming up with stupid ideas. But if we shaved the cats, it'll be a lot cleaner around here. I said no. And Felicia and Closet Cat are on top of the cat tree. We weren't going to let you do it anyway. So he's got Closet Cat down. I'll pull a few more. I'll put a few more cat hairs in his food. He'll change his mind. And this one doesn't have a date on it, but I guess it would be the next week, following Monday, the 8th of September. Throw that away. Now, see, it's been so long ago, I've forgotten what it was. Okay, we've done nothing on this. We could do some penciling today. All depends how I feel. Phones in the classroom have become too much of a distraction. You are now required to lock your phones inside these pouches, which can only be opened by a magnetic station at the door on your way out at the end of the day. However, for a small fee, the dog will unlock your pouch for you. Fido wagging his tails, goes like a magnet, horseshoe magnet in his hand, if that would work. But and the crowd goes wild in mirth and happiness. Do I feel like penciling? Do I feel like inking? Let's. How could I pull out that alien tree squirrel pubic hair brush and not use it? Really? Let's see what the silver black velvet brush does for us. Well, as you all know, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet. So I have to wear this, a glove, to keep me from getting any more of my filth on the page. Oh, hey, before I continue much further, I did a little show on this for the YouTube Shorts, but I don't think everyone's seen it. Probably, if not the alien tree squirrel pubic hair brush, probably my most important tools here would be a parallel ruler. It's the one I used to use, and I got this one in the mail. Longer is better, of course, always. So we can. This will really change the comic strip, because in the past, what I would do is my vanishing points would just be that far apart, 9 inches apart. Now I can do a vanishing point that's 13, 14 inches apart, because I can reach everything. And this gives you the effect of a camera zooming in a bit more. I know it's difficult to explain. Think of it as rather than having a camera close up, you have a camera that's further away, but the lens is zoomed in. That's the effect that it gives in with drawing. So I purchased this little antique for about $10. I think shipping was more. And it sort of works. These gnarls are gnarly, of course, but they're not as nice as the rubber that run around here. Oh well. It's I rescued an antique because this thing, look at all the divots and knocks it's taken out. Someone really beat the shit out of this poor thing. It's bent. Oh well. Let's put the roller liner back. Don't think we need any of these on the table today, so I'm going to toss these back in the ruler area. Don't hit the camera. What we do need is ink. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what happened to my ink. Probably should fill this back up. Yeah, I also need to put down a piece of paper here so I don't smudge. As I've demonstrated many times in the past, the Blackwing pencil, while nice and dark and pretty, also really smudges and smears if you run your hand across it. And I assure you, this is not an excuse whatsoever for a bit. So Jimmy Kimmel doesn't know how money is, how money works, which is surprising because he used to be a regular guy. I think he worked in air. No, was it him who worked in air conditioning in construction, or was it his partner? Whatever. But I just want to say that the idea that Stephen Colbert's show was losing $40 million a year is beyond nonsensical. He's probably losing more. These alleged insiders who supposedly analyze the budgets of the shows, I don't know who they are, but I know they don't know what they're talking about. The funny part in the back is, I'll tell you, the first 10 years I did the show, they claimed we weren't making any money. Jimmy, is it Jimmy? Yeah. Jimmy, you're still not making money. I wasn't making any money. And we had 5 times as many viewers on ABC as we do now. Who knows what's true? All I know is they keep paying us. It's as long as he gets his allowance, as long as Jimmy gets his allowance, everything's fine in this world. They told him 10 years ago he wasn't making any money, and he had better ratings then. What do you think you're doing now, Jimmy? So Jimmy wants to give Stephen Colbert an Emmy. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, give him an Emmy. I don't care. And speaking of, I don't care anymore. I guess Howard has re-upped his contract with Sirius, which is too bad. We had a brief opportunity of getting him back in the world. Howard Stern is once again at the center of a storm of speculation. Just days after a tabloid reports claimed the Howard Stern show was on the verge of cancellation, Radar Online says the 71-year-old radio legend has inked a lucrative new contract with Sirius SM, described as a monster payday. Sure. Yet the conflicting narratives highlight both Stern's unique ability to generate a buzz and challenges Sirius XM faces in navigating his long-term value. They're not making any money, but hey, Stern gets his allowance. How much does he care? Stern, you really needed to get back out there in society. You've gone a little stir crazy in a house full of cats, worried about COVID. Oh well. We're gonna file that under I don't care anymore. So this topic has been talked to death, but hey, now it's my turn. I remember first seeing the Cracker Barrel logo many years ago and thinking it looked horrible. Cracker in the barrel. I completely understand of some people saying this is a whip. So, cracker with a whip. You can already figure where this woman was going when she did the change. Now, I don't know this woman, Julie Fess Massino, personally, but I know women like her, like every square inch of my gloriously naked body. I dated these women. This is the sort of woman you get in Boston. There's no coincidence that this woman bears a striking resemblance to Rachel Maddow, because this is the gene pool we're stuck with out here. And she did this redesign for one simple reason. She doesn't like white Southern rednecks. She thinks they're racist. She thinks they're evil. She thinks they have to be stomped out. That's why that simplest answer in the world. That's why they, I'm not sure if they're actually going to redesign the Cracker Barrel to look like that. But someone has pointed out how McDonald's looks like it went from a happy childhood to a depressed teenager. Pizza Hut's lost the hut. And yeah, I guess someone thought this is what they're not going to do that to Cracker Barrel. I don't think. That's too much money. And Taco Bell is now looks like a Starbucks. Very similar to McDonald's design, probably the same architect. But Taco Bell was an ugly building to begin with. These are all ugly buildings, but they're supposed to be ugly. This is an ugly logo, but it's supposed to be ugly. You Bud Lighted your Cracker Barrel restaurant for the same reasons that okay, we'll get back to Cracker Barrel for a moment. Now that I have Rachel on the board, let's look at the new MSNBC logo. See, they've lost the peacock. Let's get rid of that, and they've lost the they lost the BC. So let's get rid of that. So you need a little bit of color. So we got something of a flag, almost an American flag, but they can't quite go all the way there. I mean, they don't like this country that much. It's the best. This is the best you're going to get from them. I don't know why it's still MS, because Microsoft bailed out of there in the 2000s. But the company is Versant, which I assume is a made-up word like Verizon. I don't know, but the CEO is Mark Lazarus. Now, is there a more appropriate name for the guy who runs MS Now than Lazarus? He's going to bring this thing up from the dead. So I don't know how they're going to continue to pay Rachel Maddow's paycheck, but she doesn't deserve it. So, like Howard Stern, she doesn't deserve it. They can't afford to pay it, but they managed to come up with a deal with Howard after all. So, hey, what can I say? So back on getting rid of the cracker in the barrel. Coincidentally enough, it has a Disney link because look at what Disney is doing to Disney World. Disney Imagineers share 3 focuses for the new Frontierland attractions at the Magic Kingdom. And let's go right to the 3 focuses. According to Imagineers, Frontierland's recent and upcoming attractions emphasize chasing your dream, writing your own folktale, and embrace a key creative focus. The setting isn't the story. Boy, what a gobbledygook. Huh? But Disney had to get rid of Frontierland for the same reason that Cracker Barrel had to get rid of the cracker. They don't like white people. They don't like Southern white people. They don't like a history of racism that Southern white people are famous for. And they will do everything and anything they can do. That is the focus of their existence, is to do the right thing. And in this case, the right thing is going to be to fuck up Disney World. As previously announced, Tom Sawyer Island, oh yeah, we can't have Tom Sawyer Island, in the rivers of America, including Liberty Bell Riverboat, are permanently closing to be replaced by 2 new rides. Pixar's Cars theme ride and a major overhaul to Frontierland's overhaul landscape. Additionally, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is closed for the entirety of 2025 to reopen 2026. These projects follow 2024's new version of the long-running Country Bear Jamboree. I'm surprised they're keeping the bears, as well as Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You know, those bears look slightly racist to me. I don't know. But I know these people. I've dated that woman. Not Julius Flails Messino or CEO Sarah Moore. I am sorry that we have inflicted this on you, America. So what else is Disney up to? Let's get this horrible woman off the page. We're not gonna use that. Fortunately, woke is dead. Thank you, Eric Cartman. So what else is Disney up to? Well, and the Thunderbolts is now on streaming Disney Plus, and they removed the gun. See right there? There should be a gun right here in her hand. And they removed that Uzi. See, he should have an Uzi. And they even well, I can see why they removed this character. Didn't this character die off? But yeah, here's the new Disney Plus Thunderbolts ad. It's a good thing that we kept Captain America here. I was sure they were going to get rid of him, but Disney doesn't like racist white people. Okay, we're obviously not going to have this on the page because this has just pissed me off. I have to talk about the Thunderbolts movie. Well, let's see. We seem to have in this stack of stuff, Alex Myers' big red flag. What have I noticed as a big red flag? It's funny. I like assembled these last week. It's been a very busy week. I haven't been home. So it's like, geez, I wonder what I was thinking. What was the big red flag for? Maybe we can find this out together, huh, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, I got a picture of Kathleen Kennedy here. All right. And, well, the all girls adventure collage that I made, see, I had to add Cassie and Ironheart in this. And we had She Hulk, but we had to remove She Hulk because She Hulk's been removed. And this is the one someone on the internet did. See, put a chick in it, make her lame. I wonder what the big red flag I was alerting us to. Well, what have we got here? I got a picture of Kevin Feige, hashtag fire Kevin Feige. And the Avengers, $500 million, probably $600 million by the time they're done. Filming budget with no script yet. But that's not stopping them from filming. All right, well, I have no idea why I hit the big red flag. Well, what the hell, we'll just carry on. In the opposite universe, DC universe, we have James Gunn I pulled out for some reason. Oh, and we know that that's it. Peacemaker came out, and it's R-rated. It's supposed to be the sequel to the PG-rated Superman movie, but you definitely can't let your kids watch this. It opens with an orgy scene and penises flopping all over the place. So James Gunn's next project will be Supergirl, and maybe it will be this Supergirl and not that Supergirl. So this is looking good. I'd rather have that Supergirl than that Supergirl. No longer Woman of Tomorrow, played by Millie Alcock. That's really her name, Alcock. You call her Khaleesi Mark II. She's going to be Supergirl. Kind of does have sort of an alien look to her, doesn't she? But someone on the internet said, the only acceptable Superwoman actor it is Zendaya. We will boycott anything else. So I don't know. I guess my red flags was just that the superhero universe is in trouble. I'm just going to clean all that off the page. We might have to go back to Millie Alcock because I have a good-looking woman to look at, unless I have something else here. Oh, hey, Ronald D. Moore is perhaps going to return to Star Trek. He might, maybe they'll fire Alex Kurtzman. They should when Stardust takes over, and Ronald D. Moore might do Star Trek. Slightly optimistic news, but I still got like a big old red flag here with Ronald D. Moore because he did Battlestar Galactica, where he race and gender swapped most of the characters. But we here love Katie Sackhoff, and she took that role of Starbuck and made her a funny, sexy, believable character. So I didn't mind the race and gender swapping. I guess that's back when they used to do it good. He's got this TV show that no one has seen. I think it's on Apple Plus. So I don't want to see it. It's like, could you hide it? Could you hide it any more effectively? I don't know. I might have to pirate it. Don't anyone ever pirate anything. You have to because it doesn't exist in any format that you can see it. Anyway, he also did a TV show called on Apple Plus. I've been trying to remember. For All Mankind, that's it. Where he race and gender swaps the astronauts. But I hear it's a good show. I don't mind the race and gender swapping as long as you do a good job. If you don't, tear down the racist white redneck like you're doing in Cracker Barrel and Frontierland. As a Bostonian, I can turn up my nose at you Southerners because I'm not from your area. My ancestors never owned slaves. But these women are horrible. I'm not saying you, Katie. Katie, you're wonderful. But the Cracker Barrel woman. We of Boston are really apologetic for doing that to you, America. But I had to deal with them. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn, America. I hope you enjoy yourselves. But, putting a chicken in, making her lame. Yeah, that's my only concern about Ronald D. Moore. Moore is a great writer, great showrunner. He's hit everything out of the ballpark. And who else can do Star Trek? Moore briefly worked on Star Trek. Next Generation. His credit covers 93 episodes across the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. And that doesn't include his two The Next Generation films, TOS crossover Generations. Oh, that sucked. And the critically acclaimed First Contact. Okay, I might have just said a couple seconds ago that Mr. Moore has hit everything out of the park. He's got a few whiffs there. Maybe it wasn't entirely his fault, but big old red flag here about Ronald D. Moore and his propensity for race and gender swapped characters. Is he as big an asshole as that Cracker Barrel lady? Of course not. It's not possible. Where's my brush? Here we go. Take our alien pubic hair squirrel brush. Look, it's supple, nice. Always a bad idea to go straight into inking. Oh, go straight into inking the character. Irving on camera one, could you zoom into about here? I guess we're going to be joined by Katie Sackhoff today. I wish Katie was wearing a little bit less clothing, but hey, I respect a woman with a gun. Oh. Yes, America, we of the New England area, would like to apologize for exporting our women to you. They are indeed as bad as advertised. Just think, you people in the rest of the country, you didn't have to try to date them. I had to be a pusillanimous wimp, progressive jerk, just to get any of these women to look at me. It was horrible. These good looks don't get you everything. Oh, I had to pretend I cared about the environment, and I cared about economic disparity, and I cared about what's going on here and there in the world. And oh, isn't that President Republican enter your name here horrible? Yes, I agree. It's amazing what a man will do to get a woman. Fortunately, the one I married isn't one of these horrible New England women, the Rachel Maddows of the world, as you might say. And not all of them are lesbians, believe it or not. This is what I tried to point out earlier this year with the whole thing about the lesbian witches Disney's been enjoying on Marvel lately. A majority of the witches in Salem, I've been there, I've dated them, are heterosexual, and they're good in bed. Just thought that's something you needed to know. But yeah, the surest way to walk home with a unused condom is to be a conservative with these women of New England. They are horrible people. They're evil. I'm not saying that generally Democrats and leftists and are all evil. I'm just saying these particular women were. Oh, look at how beautiful that ink has just flowed out of the brush. A lot of control. I can I can go from a fine line to a thicker line. Now the reason why we like Katie Sackhoff, uh, she got my attention immediately because the Starbuck character smoked a cigar. And yeah, she's covered in tattoos. And you know, watch out for someone with too many tattoos because they're warning you, they're telling you something. You can decide what it is they're telling you. But if we made it a law that crazy people had to mark their skin, they wouldn't tat themselves up like that. But fortunately, they do it on themselves. Very nice of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, this is a beautiful brush thus far. Look how it like nearly instantly held the ink. So, those of you drawing a comic strip alongside of us at home, I highly recommend that you spend an incredible amount of money for a brush, and you get these alien squirrel pubic hair brushes. I'll just put that on the camera for a second so you can figure out. This is a number 8 round I'm using. I decided to go. I bumped up the size that I probably should use so I'd be able to do a thicker line. After this is reproduced, it shrinks down. You don't see crap. Sometimes I envy the rest of the country because they don't have Bostonian women. But but you ask cartoonist, how did you manage to run into a Boston woman that was worth marrying? Since the chief colorist will never, and I say never, never, ever watch this show, I can talk all the trash I want right now, and with absolute impunity. Oftentimes, women will change to suit the man that they are pursuing. These Boston women will not, and that's one of the problems. They'll just dump your ass. But I believe the chief colorist was, at the time she worked for a major Boston university, and I'm pretty sure she was quite a bit more, shall we say, democratic when I met her. And I'm just a cartoonist. I do not have, nor have I ever drawn a political comic strip. I have never. I was commissioned in college to draw one political cartoon, and it was Neil Bush, who at the time was running a savings and loan that went under, and they told me to draw this editorial cartoon and what the joke would be, and I still don't get the joke, but I drew it for them. It was a quote of the president at the time saying that we will search down all of the snakes that have robbed these savings and loans from the inside, something like that. And there was a snake under a rock, and it had the name tag Neil Bush. uh, Such humor, such clarity, such I'm shocked I didn't make political cartooning a career after that, and how it never was noticed by my peers for its spectacular humor. So as I was saying, I stepped in there. I'm not political. I don't give a fuck. But I have general, I guess I would be considered by Boston standards a conservative. But by New England standards, I'm like right there next to any any monster on the planet that you can think of. the the rest of the country would absolutely consider me to be too squishy. Look at how beautiful that brush is, just holding that line. Unprecedented control. And have you noticed, not a single hair has come out of line. So I'm not doing these double lines or these happy little accents that you usually get from a brush. This could be a transformative brush for the comic strip, just like the ruler perhaps will. So I guess we've got to come up with a title for this one. We're got about 15 minutes left in the show. And thank you for joining us, Katie Sackhoff. Definitely not a Boston woman. Do we have a title? Boston Women. I have no idea if the Cracker Barrel CEO and the marketing woman is from Boston, but I can just look at them and say, yeah, they've got some DNA from this part of the country, whether they went to school here or whatever. I would not be surprised whatsoever. You know, Rachel Maddow is from my neck of the woods. Big surprise there. We are sorry, America. We don't know how this happened. We just lost control of our women somewhere. I don't know what happened. All right, he's supposed to have, this is a burn mark from pizza flying across the room. He's got another burn mark on his forehead. But this is supposed to be like cheese, and that's a pepperoni. There's another pepperoni. And we double this up on the bottom so you can see that's the crust. So you get a piece of pizza, those square school pizzas in his hair. So I'm guessing the title is going to be something along the lines of Boston Women, and how the cartoonist has to apologize, would like to apologize for inflicting them upon America. But make no doubt about it, Cracker Barrel hates its customers. Disney hates its customers. Budweiser hated their customers. The woman was blatant in saying, "Oh, we've got to get rid of the frat boys who drink our beer." Who the fuck else is going to drink that shit? It's not exactly like a Guinness Stout. I mean, this is a non-alcoholic Guinness Stout. I thank the people at St. James Gate Brewery for making it just for me. Non-alcoholic beer sales are up 19%. You're welcome. All right, let's see how it is at filling blacks in. Not bad. But this is more. That's more the ink than the brush. But I can put a pretty thick layer on with with this. Not bad. All right, we want the shirt to have just one little tear down there. And its flaps open here now. There should be buttons, holes. I'll do the little line buttonholes. All right. And Dino's hand. Now, can I get Fido's nose properly with this brush? We always try to do like, look at that. That's how I want his nose to look. Just we'll blow this up. I just want to have lines, and then I go under and up, and that's Fido's nose. And I always screw that up because the brush doesn't want to do those fine lines. This all disappears when it shrinks down, so you would never notice. But that was always the intention for Fido's nose. You got a professional tool, you get professional results, I suppose. So, got to make Fido with happy eyes here. He's looking toward the bench seat. I suppose it's just as well that we do not have the chief colorist here for today's episode, as she would not allow me to tell you the truth about Boston women, how horrible they are, and how sorry we are to have inflicted them upon you, America. So, obviously, people have spoken depth on how Cracker Barrel can get themselves out of the situation, and they need to do some sacrificial blood. They need to fire these women and go back to the old logo and probably improve, if not keep the same quality of food, and stop fucking with the restaurants. None of which is Cracker Barrel doing. They are, in fact, doubling down and saying something to the effect of Trump voters don't need to visit our restaurants. I'm sure that if Disney could say the same thing, they would. But if there's any reason in the world to fire a Boston girl, that's the reason to fire her. You don't throw away customers like that. Dummy. But those customers are horrible. They're racist. I don't care a fuck what you are. You still have money, don't you? They think they're intelligent, and they may be average to probably close to above average in intelligence, but they sure do a lot of stupid things, don't they, Bubba? The women I'm speaking of from Boston, they want to be perceived as much more intelligent than they really are, and a good part of their identity is based on feeling intelligent. People treating them like they are more than just a set of breasts and other goodies. Are we men of Boston to blame? for what's happening to America. Seriously, the guys up here just want to get laid. All right, they'll say yeah to anything. I don't care. Yeah, sure, baby, whatever. Men are the same all over the place. Don't look for principles in the bed. It doesn't exist. Mm. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are coming close up to our time. I just only get 2 panels finished today, but you got a good view of what the brush is doing. It's behaving spectacularly and might just be worth. What's this like? A premium pizza, a case of beer, and perhaps a cigar, or this brush. Those are the choices cartoonists have to make, I suppose. Add insult to injury. I got 2 of them. So I should be set for a long time. I doubt these brushes will wear any quicker than any other brush. I can show you examples. I actually wear down the hair just from the friction of the paper on the brush. Would have never thought that possible, but yeah. All right, we about 3 minutes to the end of this. What the hell? Let's call this Boston Women. Now, I will state again that I have no idea whether or not Jules Fleiss Messino. I wonder if that name is hyphenated. Yeah, Boston women like to hyphenate their names. No idea whether Julie Fleiss Messino is from the Boston area, but I'll bet you she is. She just smells it. She looks it. I can smell it on her. But I do know Rachel Maddow is from the Boston area. Like that's any surprise. I have no idea how CSNBC is going to continue. Well, CSNBC. MS Now. I have no idea how MS Now is going to be able to pay the Rachel Maddow paycheck. But I had no idea how Sirius Satellite Radio is going to pay for Howard Stern. Go figure. As they dug up the money somewhere. Because these people are not getting the ratings. They're not worth their paycheck. Yeah, and this one's doubling down on the whole thing. No more Cracker, no more Barrel. I've never been to a Cracker Barrel restaurant, actually. They don't have any of them up here, which is, it's surprising, actually, that someone like this took a job at a place called Cracker Barrel. That's just like unheard of. But then again, look who was working at Bud Light. So yeah, okay. These women just lurch their way into the world and they destroy your life. This is someone's future ex-wife, if not already one. Everyone, thank you for joining Fido Live number 163. We'll do a thumbnail with Cracker Barrel somewhere in there and maybe get Rachel Maddow. I don't know. But I got to clean this brush. Clean your brush with warm, soapy water. ending on Rumble and YouTube, since YouTube